everyone. Thanks for joining. Welcome back to Wall Street Bullion. Our guest today is Clem Chambers. He is the CEO of Online Blockchain PLC. He is also the founder of an upcoming financial information website called anewfn.com. Welcome back, Clem.
Great to be back.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. I wanted to get you on to talk about, all the excitement right now in precious metals and in the gold and silver space, and of course the craziness in the financial sector. Since we last spoke, there's been, the gold prices and silver prices have went up, tremendously, especially in silver. You're seeing a breakout right now. What are your thoughts right now on precious metals? Why are we seeing this?
Well, I like to keep my ideas simple, and you can say lots of things about the precious metals, but obviously the key one is gold, and gold is the driver of precious metals because that's the brand. In the same way as Bitcoin's the brand in crypto, it's the 800-pound gorilla, and you have to ask yourself, why buy gold? What's the story here? And the classic story is, oh, it's real money and all this paper money, oh, inflation woes me, oh, bailouts, I'm not getting one. And all that moaning and groaning that I'm sure your channel's full of that. And you see, I'm not that, I'm from that school. And I'm not a gold bug. I I've I love physical gold as a thing. Absolutely adore a gold watch, and I have many. But as a asset, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of any asset. I like assets that I think are going to go up, because I like to make money. And so an asset, they're all the blooming same to me. And if it's cheap, I like it. And if it's not cheap, I'm probably going to start selling it. And if it's expensive, I've got any, I'll sell it. And if it's expensive, I certainly won't buy it. So very simple concept. So you got ask yourself, why gold? What? Tell me about gold. Why is gold any more different from iridium or any of the other exotic metals? Yeah, people like it. Okay, fair enough. People like it. Jewelry and all that good stuff. Trinkets. Yeah, there's demand for that. Well, electronics. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fine. Carry on. Blah blah blah. Well, okay, I understand all that. So tell me this. Riddle me this. Why do governments keep warehouses full of it?
Probably for war purposes or something.
As I've been saying, gold is for what?
Yeah.
Governments keep gold in warehouses in case of war. That's it. Because war, the only currency people accept in war is gold.
Right.
Okay. So if you get in a world where peace is breaking out, like when the wall came down, you're going to get gold going down or staying down. Because, why have I got a building full of gold? I'm not going to go to the war with the Ruskies anymore. I don't need so much gold. Maybe I should sell it for money so I can pay myself. Yay. Yeah. But of course, if things start to kind of warm up, start to get a little bit more sticky, as a country, you've got to have more gold. And the cost of war is so gigantic, astronomical cost, that you could be quite a long way away from a war and still need more gold. Because if you actually do get to the point where you are at war, a proper, they're gonna invade you and they're gonna hang you from the yardarm war, you need a hell of a lot of gold, and it just doesn't, you just can't buy it. You have to start stacking it.
Yeah.
And what you are seeing in gold is governments stacking gold. Now, when they weren't stacking it, they were just holding what they've got because, we've got it and, things haven't really improved. And, there's still those guys over there that I don't like. And there's still those guys over there I want to show I'm, tough too. So I need to keep the gold as it is. But then suddenly, when things start to get a bit more sticky, ooh, I think I could do with a couple more tons of that. Ooh. But when your governments aren't stacking it, and maybe even selling it, you've got all these monkeys in Wall Street going, oh, we know the private investor, he loves gold. We'll show him what's what. We'll shake him here, we'll shake him there, we'll push the price here, we'll push the price there. And all that sort of manipulation that people are complaining about, that's what Wall Street does. That's what these trading banks do. They trade. What do you think trading is a metaphor for? It's for manipulation, right? Well, when the real 800 pound gorilla comes in, or rather, when Godzilla comes in, when King Kong comes in, and that's government, the 800-pound gorillas of Wall Street have to get out of the way, don't they? So they have to stop
Yeah.
playing games. Yeah. They can't go short gold when the Chinese government's buying it. So what you've seen is governments start to go, this is, God, that guy in Washington. I think we need a bit more gold. And the Chinese going, oh, we've been called out. We've been caught with our hand doing what we're doing. Oh no. Oh, that's not gonna be good. And we want to invade Taiwan. And oh, they spotted that one. Oh no. Oh, I think we better stash gold. Let's have gold. A few more tons, please. Yeah, yeah. How about some more tons? Yeah, give us some more tons. And there's 3,200 tons a year being mined. So there's quite a lot of tons out there. And when you think a ton is 100 million, there's a lot of 300 billion or whatever it is of gold every year has to get sucked up by the market.
Right.
Well, of course, that's nothing to governments, is it? No, we'll have that. Yeah. Yeah. Billion. Yeah. Yeah. But that's the numbers we work in. Yeah. Give us 10 of them. Yeah, give us 50. Yeah. Yeah. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Your price is going to do that, isn't it? And that's what you are seeing in my book. So you don't have to worry about inflation. You don't have to worry about, funny little acts. You don't have to worry about crypto. You don't have to worry about anything. King Kong is in town and buying gold. The governments of the world, not just one or two, all of them, if they're at all well run, will be going, oh, more global tension means we need to buy more gold. Full stop, period. Because if that starts to kick off, boy, we're going to need a lot. And maybe that's 5 years away, but we're going to need a lot in 5 years. And we're just going to navigate the tension. More tension, more gold. Tension going that way, gold reserves going that way, right? So you've got the giant buyers in town, and the manipulation stops. And people start saying, actually, have we got what we sold? Have we got it in are you sure? Could you go around and count it again? Oh, we're a bit short. Oh, we better get some in ourselves now. And then, of course, it drags the other precious metals along with it because, gold is B to G, business to government, right? And then you've got the B to B aspect of it, which is, your electronics and all that. But silver is pretty much B to B, sorry, B to C. It's a consumer precious metal because you
Right.
can buy a bucket of silver for not a lot of money. And you might want to buy a kilo because you are into it, but you'd be buying, a hundredweight of silver. So, and if you, and I keep saying this, if you think the end of the world's coming, like I'm sure a proportion of the audience do, you don't want gold, you want silver. You can't go down the road to the farmer and say, I want 6 chickens, please. Here's a gold coin.
Right.
It's too heavy. You can't cut a corner off it, although they used to back in the day, used to cut their coins to do that. You
Wow.
want a quarter, don't you? You say, here's a silver dollar. I'll have that sheep, please. So it's a precious metal which actually could be used as currency in a time of great tension. So silver will follow gold. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
there's platinum and palladium, which are my two favorites. They're the ones that I love, and I've been telling people. Do you know how many? First of all, this number might be inaccurate, but I believe, roughly speaking, there's 50,000 tons of silver mined every year.
Okay.
Okay, 50,000 tons. You could look it up, but effectively, I know for sure that it's 3,200 tons of gold. So 100 to 1, there should be 320,000 tons of silver mined, and there isn't. There's way
Right.
less, right? So that's a bit interesting, right? Because if suddenly things go towards a lot of people thinking in terms of precious metals as a hedge against increasing tension, then those ratios should start to tighten up. Yeah. And of course, silver's 100 to 1. And maybe it should be 40 to 1. Maybe the manufacturing ratio is 40. I'm not going off to the Google to check it now, but
Right.
it's way less than 100 to 1. So that's it's the potential to tighten. Now, also, when people like me are thinking, oh, gold's going to go up because I'm a clever analyst and I see this coming before anybody else. Well, retail gets the idea 6 months later. They probably get the idea when they see a television show, 60 Minutes or something, saying that gold's gone through the roof. And they go, I need to buy gold. Oh, that's a bit expensive. I need to buy silver. And
Right.
then that silver thing. But as fundamentals go, and this is why I like platinum palladium, that's 200 tons a year. 200 tons.
That's
That's like
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
That's absolutely nothing. And platinum and palladium have huge industrial usages. Okay.
Yeah.
Back in the day, not that far back in the day, certainly after you were born, platinum was the same price per ounce as gold.
Yeah.
It's now a third. And if you went back another 10 years, platinum was twice as the price of gold because at that point they were thinking, oh, we've got to put this in cat converters. We don't have so much of it. And it was the catalytic converters going into cars that pushed that price. a lot. Now, the reason platinum and palladium are so cheap is everyone says, oh, well, petrol, internal combustion engine going away, save the whale, hug a tree, environment. They're going to ban those things. And what are we going to do with all the cat converters and all the platinum? Oh, we're going to have a big pile of that. And it's going to take a long time to chew through that. So no, we don't want to invest in that. So bang, it came down.
Right.
Well, as you've probably noticed, the internal combustion engine is no longer going extinct. They're bringing that one back.
Yeah.
And it's not going to go away because another big thing that's happened is the demand for energy is about to go infinite. And if you're going to actually clear up the mess, you need platinum and palladium to do that. And if you are going to say, oh, actually, we need infinite amounts of energy, and we're going to build nuclear power stations, and we're going to burn hydrogen and fuel cells, you name it, platinum's going to get its little toe in there. And there's only 200 tons of it made a year. So that's going to go complete. Because someone said to me, oh, did I miss platinum? Oh, I missed it. I bought it 2 years ago and bought it high and sold it low. And it's going to come back down, isn't it? I'm thinking, no, no, it's not going to come back down. It might pause.
Right.
It might come back down again, but you wouldn't where's it going? You don't need to know that it's going to come back before it ends up where it's going to end up. You just need to be in it on the journey, right? If you believe in the journey, you just need to be in it. And one to one with gold is to me almost a no-brainer. And
Yeah.
that's $1,000 an ounce, not 1,100.
Yeah, no, you absolutely nailed it. What are your thoughts right now, Clem, on all the work with the tariffs? Are they working, not working? Are you against them? What are your thoughts with tariffs? Now he put a 35% tariff on Canada again. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think everyone's gone a bit numb on Mr. Trump, haven't they? So what he says and what he does, people are a bit blurry about that.
Right.
So it's not like somebody can be absolutely relied upon to follow through is saying anything. But what is the impact of tariffs? Negative. Are they a tax? I mean, actually, it's quite clever, really, if you wanted to see it this way. I've said I'm going to lower taxes. Okay, great, go on then. Oh, you've lowered taxes. That's really good. I'm going to put on tariffs. Oh, we really like that. That's a tax on you, but I'm not going to tell you that.
Right.
So actually, I've put up taxes, haven't I? So, oh, look, we're making all this revenue now. Oh, yes, someone's paying for it. It ain't us. So, it is a tax. And it does slow down the machine. Now, I'm not a globalist. I am a globalist. I love globalization. I love it. I love going around the world and getting all the best from all the different things there are in the world. It's a lovely thing.
Yeah.
But economically, it's very, very good until one of your suppliers decides they don't like you anymore and wants to, hurt you. And, if you get into that adversarial position, you can't be globalized. You have to be localized. And the trouble is, you've had a administration in China which has gone from very much cooperative, we're building something, let's all be friends, to one that goes, oh, actually, we're the big I am. We want to throw our weight around. And one of the big troubles with government is that they do like to throw their weight around. They do like to interfere and muck about with other people's affairs. They do like to show off. They do like to blow stuff up. So they, their world is their train set,
Right.
and that's very, 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 very negative. And there is this situation right now where a lot of countries are having fun blowing each other up. I mean, the people getting blown up are not having fun, and the people
Yeah.
doing the blowing up aren't having any fun. But the people that are saying go blow that up are having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Look, I can destroy it. Now I have become death, destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, no.
Thanos says goodbye. All that stuff that government all around the world throughout history has fallen for or gone for or enjoyed. They love that stuff. They absolutely love it until it bites them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that move is one of the reasons why gold and the precious metals are so strong. So, in fact, you could say that tariffs are good for precious metals because tariffs is all about conflict, and
Yeah.
conflict equals higher and precious metal prices, unfortunately. And as I say, I don't like it. I don't want gold to be $5,000 an ounce or $7,000 an ounce or $10,000. I should change my name to Auric from Clem. I've got so much gold, but I'm not buying it because I want to see it there. I'm buying it because I think it's going there. It's not what I want. It's what I foresee.
Yeah.
And tariffs is a sign of deglobalization. of people in spiraling conflict and tension. And it's a negative. It is definitely without a negative. However, if you are going to be able to fight a war, you've got to be able to make steel and aluminium, and you've got to have rare earths to make your missiles, and you've got to be able to make electronics, and you've got to be able to make chips, and all the things that you're seeing that the Trump administration are trying to move on amount to rebuilding an industrial base to be able to sustain a war.
Yeah,
Well, that's a
absolutely.
terrible thing.
Yeah.
That's a terrible, maybe necessary, maybe very necessary, but that is an awful, awful road to go on, even if you have to. Yeah, and I hope that they'll go down that road enough to feel secure in their position and be able to park up and stay and go no further. But that's the road they're going on. And that is why most of these tariffs are, that's what it's all about. If you look at them, it's all about being able to have the industry necessary to support war. And that's the reason why the gold's doing what it's doing, because then, everybody knows up there. You don't think they don't know that's the policy. And of course they go, okay, maybe I need to buy a bit of gold. Oh, do you know, neighbor? Yeah, I could get a bit sticky in a few years' time.
Right.
Let me tell you the story of what's going on in my corner of the world. And it spreads, doesn't it?
Yeah, no.
So that's my feeling about all these things. And it sometimes it isn't better late than never. It should have been something that shouldn't have happened maybe 10 or 15 years ago. It should have been, it happened. And it happened because the political system of the West panders to a certain set of criteria which are not necessarily strategic.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking. Yeah, no, you're absolutely seeing countries gear up for conflict, and that totally makes sense, the correlation between gold and war, because yeah, that makes the most sense. Even looking back at World War II and looking back at all the wars, that totally makes sense that these countries are trading their gold for military equipment, or just to stay level-headed and prepare themselves.
It's very simple because there's a flip side to that. Who had all the gold in the world in 1946?
Germany?
No, America.
Oh, that makes sense.
They took all the Germans' gold. They were given all British gold and they were given all the gold of everybody else, and they took the Japanese gold, and the Japanese took the Philippines gold, and it was all in America. That's why it's all in Fort Knox.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that
So,
makes sense.
the winner gets all the gold. Now, America then went and said, well, we've got to rebuild this world, because, otherwise we'd just be kings of a smoking crater. And so they then started to put it all back to things like the Marshall Plan. And they decided that by having close economic ties with as many people as possible, and making the dollar the reserve currency as a way of flooding the world with dollars, and binding anybody's lifestyle,
Wow.
and all the benefits of peace to America, that would be their strategy. And that's the strategy that got tore up in January. Because if you look at it, China now has, this is a sobering thought. China has more cash, i.e., dollar bills, they're not dollar bills, they're yuan bills. China has more cash in value than there are American dollars in cash. So
Wow.
if you connected up all the M2 and M1 money supply of China and put it side by side with American in value terms, i.e., you just valued it in yen or valued it in euros, China has twice as much cash as
Wow.
America. So China has twice as much money. Now there's four times as many people. So each Chinese person has half the money per head of the average American. But they've got four times as many people, and they've got twice as much cash. So the American dollar being the reserve currency, well, that's an artificial construct. The reason it's not the yuan is because the Chinese aren't stupid enough to do that. Oh, well, not stupid, but they don't want to fund the rest of the world. They
Right.
don't want to go into debt to the rest of the world. They don't want to bind the rest of the world to their economy. They want the economy to send them their money. They don't want to send their money to them.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see this thing about the dollar being the reserve currency. That's all nonsense. That's all nonsense. That's all part of a strategy of the past. And if you look at the value of the dollar right now, you will know that it's about almost 100% too high, getting on for twice the price it should be. And the way you can tell that is you can look at the GDP in dollars of, say, Europe, of all the rich countries in Europe, which if you go to Europe, you don't look around and go, oh, we're so much richer than they are. Look at that. No one's so much richer. You go, oh, yeah, similar. Different sized garages. They don't drive stupid big cars. But they've got the same restaurants and they've got the same quality and it's the same. It's the same world. Go to Japan, you wouldn't say, "Oh, look at those Japanese. They're so poor." But if you look at the GDP per head, it's half. So
Right.
why is that then? It's because the dollar is too expensive by such a long way that that mismatch of dollar GDP per head is purely a function of the strength of the dollar. And that's probably going to go away over the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, Trump wants a lower dollar. Well, he wants lower interest rates. That's the same thing as the lower dollar, right? So
Right.
he wants the dollar to come down and have some sort of GDP and parity per head because if the dollar is too strong, you muck everything up, don't you? Because that enables you to go with your strong dollar and go abroad and buy your stuff and bring it in back cheap. So an artificially strong dollar enables you to have a import export imbalance like America has, like America wants
Right.
to fix. Yeah, so the dollar is gonna come down. Now the Fed probably goes, no, no, oh, you've got this huge debt, and it's running out of control. The way you're spending, you can't.
Right.
We've got the fix in by having an artificially strong dollar. If you change that, then the deficits will all go mental, and it'll all go south. And they could be right, could be wrong. I mean, nobody really knows at that level of complexity what then happens. Nobody knows whether Trump's big, beautiful bill is going to be massively successful or massive failure. I mean, Reaganomics, everybody said the world was going to end with Reaganomics, and
Yeah.
it didn't. It worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why it can't. Well, there's many reasons why it can't work, but it doesn't mean it won't. A bad idea done well is a good idea. A good idea done badly is a bad idea. So all these things are creating an environment where there's vast opportunities in investment if you can unpick it all, if you can, if you can trade what you see or invest in what you see, not in what you're told.
There's about $15 trillion worth of physical gold in the world sitting there costing money rather than being used is just absolutely insane. Monetary Metals is bringing gold back into the financial world, putting gold to productive use right now. The problem with gold, of course, in physical form is that it's heavy, it's cumbersome, it's not particularly easy to ship, and it costs money to store in a protected manner. This platform Monetary Metals created is a proven concept and allows gold to be put to productive use, so that instead of sitting there costing you money, it's actually in use earning you money.
Learn how you can earn 2 to 5% in our leasing program and how accredited investors can earn up to 12% on silver paid in silver. This advertisement is not investment or financial advice. Minimum investment applies.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you know what? It all starts to make sense when you lay it down like that. But I want to thank you, Clem, for coming down and speaking to the investment community, the silver and gold community. Like what a pleasure it is to have you, give us all this wealth of knowledge. But I want people to connect with you. I'm going to put your links in the description below. Where can people connect with you? When is the website coming up?
The website is coming up on Friday, but I won't tell you which. I would like it to come up at the end of August. It's probably going to be the middle of September because when you get into these things with development companies, you have to set a drop dead death march goal. And so there's something called what's it? It's a ledger day. Sell in May, go away, don't come back to St. Ledger Day. That was what they used to say in the stock market because it got so quiet in summer, you might as well not bother, and the prices were going to go down. So you sell in May, prices go down, and they start to go up in the middle of September when everybody's back from goofing off.
Right.
So that's going to be the target, St. Ledger Day, and we're going to be coming up with some interesting stuff. It's going to be a rolling thundering thing. It's going to be a modern generation, whatever, Y, Z, way of doing things. And we've got this wait list. and you put your name on the wait list. And, for now, you'll be in the first cohort of people that get let in. Probably sometime in the next few weeks, we'll not cut that off maybe and stage it because it's getting quite a long list. But anyway, and that will be a financial platform with a twist. And so that's something that because I mean, your viewers are the creme de la creme. I mean, they're not the Wall Street bets crowd. They're not the crypto kiddies. They are
No.
the creme de la creme, right? So, I'm happy to welcome them to come on board. But if they want to read my general writing, because what people ask me, they say, "Why do you do this?" I say, "Behind me here is my view out my window in Monaco." Right? And people might understand that to live in Monaco, you have to do quite well. And the reason I do all this stuff is that it crystallizes your thinking if you do
Right.
this. I don't know about the other people that spout a load of nonsense on YouTube, but I write for Forbes for 25 years. I used to write for Wired magazine when they were interested in money back in the day. I wrote their money column. And for me, it makes my brain crystallize out my thinking into simple terms. And at the end of the day, if you haven't got simple, straight, strong reasons to invest, you shouldn't be doing it. And it's like when people say to me, "What should I do?" And I say, if you have to ask, the answer is always no,
Right.
right? And you have to be very, very, very clear. If you think it's gold, it isn't. If you know it's gold, it is. And
Yeah.
that's what you have to do with investment. So you have to have it all neatly, in my book, neatly formed in your brain. It has to be a little crystal that you can look through every perfectly polished facet.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's
that
why I do
totally
shows like this.
No, that totally makes sense. And it's such a huge pleasure having you come down, Clem. I'm going to put the links in the description below. Everyone watching this, highly recommend to go follow Clem's work. And Clem, such a huge pleasure. I want to thank you so much again for coming down to speaking to the precious metals community and the investing community. And as the market develops, as always, I'd really love to have you back.
Ivan, that's very, very kind. And I've got to say to your listeners, subscribe to this guy, like this guy, comment a lot because you need to push him up the Google algo to get more oxygen. Because, if you don't do that, he just doesn't get any oxygen. No, it's only because he's so fab that he gets the oxygen that he does. And all YouTube cares about is actually they read every word of it, by the way, and they do all sorts of clever stuff. But all they really care about is subscriptions and new subscriptions. So if you're there and you haven't subscribed, that new subscription click is incredibly valuable to them.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that big time. Thank you so much for saying that, Clem. And as always, love to have you back on in the future.
See you soon. See you soon.
Take care.